Tomb Raider, one of the most iconic franchises in gaming history. It kicked off all the way back in 1996. We had the 3D action game for the PC, the PS1, even the Sega Saturn, if you remember that console, and it spawned a very successful franchise starring a new gaming icon. Now, Lara Croft has been through a number of changes throughout the years, with the most drastic one coming in the 2013 reboot. Tomb Raider 2013 was fantastic, and while the two sequels may or may not have hit the same high notes, the trilogy, it was an overall success, and fans of the franchise now, of course, want to know what's coming next. Welcome to Video Game Leaks, everybody. Chaos here. Today, we have Tomb Raider Reboot leaks. That's right. That's what we cover every single day here on the channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have those notifications on so you never miss a breaking video. And I don't mean we cover Tomb Raider video game leaks every day. I mean we cover video game leaks. Today just happens to be about Tomb Raider and the intel that we have now. I'm not super familiar with the source, but the information itself, it's actually pretty believable. We'll give a guess if we think it's true or not towards the end of the video. A prediction, if you will. That's what we do here. So take it all with a grain of salt. But if it ends up being legit, we may be in for another golden age of Tomb Raider games. Now, the information actually comes from Melanie Mack, a very popular personality in the gaming sphere. And with a following this big, I don't think she would just put this information out into the world just to have. According to a series of tweets on July 29th, there is a new Tomb Raider reboot in development, and a bunch of information was leaked via a casting script for voice actors. The game is currently codenamed Project Jawbreaker. It will feature a grounded tone, but with some fantastical elements, which kind of reminds me of Tomb Raider from the late 90s and early 2000s. So in case you never played those older games, let me recap for you. They were much more lighthearted in the rebooted trilogy, but they did take themselves seriously. Yes, you were an explorer who could jump 50 feet and occasionally fought dinosaurs, but the story was really rooted in reality. It was, and it didn't lean too much on the cheesiness. Now, based on the new leaks, I'm starting to get that feeling that the new reboot will be closer to that than the ultra-serious nature of the rebooted trilogy, but perhaps I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Now, Melanie Mack also says the devs are looking for an authentic British voice actor to play Lara Croft, who will be in her 30s and about 5'6" with an athletic build. This new version will be very experienced with the years of protecting artifacts under her belt, which just goes back to what I said before about making things a little more classic. New Tomb Raider featured a fresh version of Lara. She was learning everything on the fly, figuring it all out, but this one will seemingly be closer to the old school version, who already knew what she was doing when the game started, which I'm down for. It's 2022, we don't need another origin story reboot. Now, Melanie Mack continued in another tweet, stating that the new version of Lara will leave behind all the familiar drama of previous versions and instead focus on a brand new story where the adventures as a Tomb Raider have reached tabloids and inspired a whole generation of other Tomb Raiders. That's actually pretty cool. She now struggles with the loneliness that comes with her profession until she encounters a mysterious cataclysm that forces her to team up with some other Tomb Raiders that she inspired in order to check it out together. I actually really like this story. Now, interestingly, Melanie Mack and many others on Twitter were not happy about the new story, and I don't really get it. She wrote in a tweet, "If it's all true, which it appears to be legit, I won't be playing. This isn't Lara Croft or Tomb Raider. My best hope at this point is for all this to be scrapped, but probably not going to happen since Embracer seems to be giving Crystal Dynamics free reign." I don't agree with it. I think that's cool. Like, she has people that are trying to emulate her, and she has to have a couple Tomb Raider sidekicks. Maybe I'm in the minority there. I don't know. Seems to be a trend of beloved games and movie characters being completely changed and reworked to subvert expectations and create new stories, but the people making these games and movies don't realize that when you change this character too much, they can't identify with them or care about their struggles. I get that. I do. Melanie summed it up perfectly by later tweeting out the Lara Croft is lonely thing is another example of how they just can't give us a power fantasy Lara Croft. They always want us feeling sorry for her with her family drama in the recent games and now her "aw, she's lonely." Yeah. Okay, so I do understand that, and I kind of think about the Hulk in the MCU. Started out as the Raging Hulk, and now he's like half pacifist, half chill, do yoga. A lot of people don't like that. And now that we've seen some clips of him in the She-Hulk, and it's even more on that version, a lot of people aren't happy. A lot of people want Hulk smash. They want Rage Hulk. They want they want Planet Breaker Hulk or World Breaker Hulk, World War Hulk, and that's not what we're getting. So I get what she's saying. What do you guys think? I think a return to the more old school Tomb Raider tone is a good idea, but I understand what they're saying about the character. I think the story, though, would be cool with like other Tomb Raiders helping her out. I don't know. Maybe she's right. The rebooted Tomb Raider trilogy was a fantastic series of games, but it was a very different version of Croft, and many old school fans weren't a fan. Now, instead of being this awesome explorer, she was an angry survivalist who murdered legions of adversaries without thinking. Now, granted, a lot of that was simply because the new Tomb Raider games are more action-oriented, but that's the point, I guess. After a trilogy of Tomb Raider games where Lara Croft didn't feel like the classic Lara Croft, Crystal Dynamics probably shouldn't do another drastic departure from the classic character. If they're going to go forward with another reboot, they probably need to give classic fans something to enjoy. Perhaps a remake of the classic games, or maybe just another classic-style game alongside a new one. Now, I'm always skeptical with franchise reboots, and doing a new reboot series right after finishing a different reboot series. Okay, we're getting out there. So, what do you think? Let Lara Croft rest? Bring back classic Lara? What do you guys think? I don't really know what people are going to want on this, so you let me know.